Yo, 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 what is up, Amazing Race fans? Thanks for joining the Amazing Reviews podcast, where we review the Amazing Race. Joining me tonight, I only got one guest with me. Calbert is not with us tonight. He's on assignment in Pittsburgh. Goldberg, what's up?
Oh, well, it's pretty typical. Calvert's team gets eliminated first episode. All of a sudden, he's not here. I don't know. It's a little suspicious.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you. He knows that we do this, every week, and he has a commitment.
He's been a main eventer on this show for, how many years?
4, 5?
And all of a sudden, his team goes out first. He doesn't show up. Something fishy.
Well, he's a front runner. He's a front runner.
Can't be if he's a Steelers fan.
Yeah, that's true. But they did squeak out a win this week, so.
Take it.
Oh, man. So we had another Amazing Race episode in Thailand this week. A little different than last week. Goldberg, did you enjoy the episode?
Oh, we're not rating it yet, are we?
No, just a.
I'll give it a.
Yeah.
How about you?
Yeah, I thought there was enough. Like, the locations, the stuff that they did was not the most exciting, but it wasn't boring either. I thought it looked cool. There was. I guess my issues with the episode were a little different, but I guess we'll kind of go over it. Start of the episode, teams were instructed to travel to Wat Suwanaram in Salaya in order to find their next clue. In this legs, we started off with the roadblock. One team member had to harvest 20 lotus flower bulbs of a similar size and lotus leaves from a muddy pond. Racers then had to make 2 bundles arranged in a specific pattern and wrapped with leaves and bamboo ties in order to receive their next clue. So this was a pretty challenging task I'd say for most of the teams. Some of them got it done pretty quickly, but I would say that if it wasn't for the huge lead that Jocelyn had, I think they might have got passed up here, but she was able to get through it. Goldberg, do you want to talk about some of the teams on this roadblock?
Yeah. So, that's what I wanted to ask. So, are they going to do this every leg where teams are? So, at what time? Because I missed what time the first team got their start, as opposed to, let's say, I don't know, 6th or 7th team. Like, what was the time? What was the difference in time?
So it was actually quite a bit.
It seemed like it.
They were there. It said that they departed at 8:26 a.m. And then I saw like Liam and Jeremy, and it said like 10:40.
10:40, right?
Yep.
Right.
A.m. So it was a good amount of time in between.
Is that how this is going to be now with every leg? Do you think?
I think so. I think this is kind of like they got the airports back, so I think it's gonna go like that going forward.
I mean, because it's hard. It's very hard to judge a team because, I mean, yes, Jocelyn and Victor. Well, they also caught a break later on in the episode we'll talk about, but I mean, it's hard. It's hard to judge a team because they may have finished faster than one of the other teams, but they just started so far behind that they couldn't really make up the time,
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, generally when they go to another country, they get some sort of equalizer. So
okay.
Yeah, they usually will, like the next leg in the same country, they'll have a big lead, but then when they go to a new country, it's not going to be that much of a difference. So they'll have time to catch up again.
Yeah.
So,
But I agree with you. This was to me, this was tough. And I like to like think, I always like to think, could I do this? And I think I would have struggled with this.
yeah, I agree. This looked kind of tough, um, especially if you're not paying attention, to the demonstrations. But I just think like the episode, like, just crazy how most of the teams finished where they did last week. Usually after the first week, there's a ton of, because some teams get lucky on that first leg, and then by leg 2 you start kind of noticing like who the really good teams are. So um I was surprised at like how much things kind of stayed the same. But
A
let's talk
lot.
about
Yeah.
let's talk about some of the teams that struggled here. I think Jocelyn struggled. I think she was up there like what, 10 times, 9 or 10 times.
Yeah. I mean, there were other teams that did it like 15 times, but yeah, she definitely struggled, or at least they portrayed it that way.
And then Rob did it pretty well from Rob and Corey. I think he got it like on his 4th or 5th try. It wasn't too long after Jocelyn got it. And then Greg and John, man, woof, they nailed this task.
Yeah, they flew through that.
Yeah. And Morgan, or no, it was Lena who did it. She did it pretty well too.
Yeah, they seem like a solid team right now through the first couple episodes.
Yeah, they're looking pretty good.
And they're holding that fast forward, right? So
yes, they still got that in their back pocket. So
is it a fast forward? Is that what it's called?
Express.
So why do I feel like it used to be called a fast forward?
There is a fast forward.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is a fast forward. They're a little different. Express is like one you can hold on to.
Well, I think 5th place, we're at your team now, right?
Yeah, this is where Ashley struggled.
Can I hear your thoughts on your team real quick before we continue? Like, I mean, are you happy with the way they performed, and what are your thoughts on them? Like as, I don't know, I guess as competitors.
Actually, I don't really have a problem with them, surprisingly. Like, I know Ashley struggled. She got frustrated. That I was not happy with. Like, you can't like let your frustration overtake your thinking. And I
don't think that he's too jokey?
You thought he was really jokey this episode?
Absolutely.
Wow.
There was a point in the episode. I mean, he did it multiple times, but like, I mean, there was like he also made the comment like, "Oh, you look very sexy," like because
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Yeah,
I'll tell you what, he'd be a great guy to get a beer with off the show, but I'm not sure he's taking this very seriously. And then there was another time after the sexy comment. Man, what did he say? He did something later. Oh, when they were doing I guess we could get to it, but when they were doing the grocery shopping, and he said, "I'm going to take this as an opportunity to, be funny." Right? Didn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, they nailed that task though. So whatever time you had Ashley just struggling, then they got to the detour, and I thought they did really well. And you had them at would you have them 11th last week in your power rankings?
Oh yeah, I'll definitely change that this week.
Okay.
That's going to be edited, but I'm not a believer in him.
That's fine. Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, yeah, they I don't think they can't be put at the top yet because of the fact that she took 15 times. He may be a little jokey, but I thought they really looked strong on that detour. But we can go through it.
I'm going to save. I have a question for you at the end of the show. I got my big question, so I'll save it.
Okay.
I'll save it.
Yeah, save that. Then we had Steve. Steve did the bulb challenge. He didn't know that you had to do 2 of them. He only brought 1 up to the table, but the guy got it done pretty quick. I was actually pretty impressed with him there. So he did the roadblock pretty decent, I would say.
Yeah.
And then you had Joe and Ian. I can't remember which one did the roadblock, but
They're just there at this point. They're just on the show at this point.
they are. But they're the only team that moved up a spot.
Wow.
And they moved up 2 spots this week. So then you had Liam and Jeremy. I think it was Jeremy who did the roadblock. I think he did okay, but nothing really of note.
Yeah.
Then I want to talk about, okay, let's put the spotlight on your team here. I don't know which one did it. I don't know if it was Joel or Garrett. I think it was Joel, maybe. But can we talk about the fanny pack? How do you leave your fanny pack behind?
What was in the fanny pack? Everything?
Passports, money.
Yeah, that's brutal. That's
Yep.
brutal. When that happened, I thought there was a slim chance because I know they were like pretty decently ahead of the back 2 teams, but there was a slim chance. I was like, oh my God, I made fun of Calvert and now my team's going out second.
Yeah, at least they noticed it right away, though, right?
They did. They caught it because if they would have kept going, they might have been in big trouble.
That could have really hurt them. Yeah, I mean, they did notice it well, but I mean, when you look at the standings here, that cost them 2 spots.
I'm not sure that matters entirely right now, though.
You know what, though? Now that I'm thinking about it, actually, it did not cost them 2 spots. We'll get to that. Save that thought.
Okay.
I want to come back to that. Melania, she had a rough time with this challenge in the backpack. Melena. I'm going to call her Melena. Okay, Melena. She had a tough time with this. It took her quite a bit. Robin also had a tough time.
Oh,
that did not.
They're hanging by a thread right now.
And obviously Elizabeth, she did okay. She actually got done with this challenge before both of them.
Yep.
So that was kind of interesting. Is there anything really to say about this roadblock? I think the creepy part would have been having all those catfish swimming by you.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, if I was on it with like my girlfriend, I don't know if she would have gotten in the water.
Yes.
I certainly would have, but I that would definitely. I mean, $1 million on the line. I'm probably eating the catfish, but
yeah. 2 years ago, or probably 3 years ago, I would have not done this challenge. But my dad lives up north on a lake, and he bought me. I could not go. Like, I could go in the lake in the shallow parts because I could see where I'm walking, but his lake's like super mucky when you get kind of further out, and it used to be an old logging lake. So there's like all these like old beer bottles and medicine bottles that are always washing up on shore. And, you got to watch out because you could step on this, right? So he bought me a pair of water shoes because we go jet skiing on the lake all the time. So I'm always walking in the mucky water, all over. So now I'm kind of used to it. So actually this challenge would not be that bad. But it still would be kind of surprising when you're running into catfish all over the place, You saw how many catfish were in there. Holy cow.
Yeah.
There were tons.
Yeah. I would have, I definitely would have struggled with this. Forget catfish aside. I would have struggled with this.
Right. So I don't know. I think that part kind of made it intriguing. So I think I can see why Amazing Race picked it, but I am not good with like craft type stuff like that. Would I have figured it out? Sure. I would have had to watch the demonstration a few times, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how I would have done on this challenge, but the other thing too, like all these teams, they would when they would go to check their work, they would get like one wrong, then they would go back and then get like two wrong. It's like, how did you forget what you had to do from the previous time?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's true, but I don't know. Maybe it was just they probably got frustrated. I mean, they were trying so many times. There were people seventh, eighth, ninth. I guess I don't know. You just forget what you had right, maybe.
Yeah, that could be. Or they're just trying to rush it, like Ashley. The frustration of not getting it. I mean, she did it 15 times. Obviously, you're gonna start feeling that impending doom of you just can't get past it. So I can
Right.
see why so happy after they finally get one. Even Jocelyn too. She was kind of like that too, like super emotional after finally getting it right.
Yeah, she was. She definitely
So
was.
yeah, I don't know. It was a tough roadblock to start off. After the roadblock, then teams had to travel to Wat Rai King, place a coin in a marked elephant, and walk under the elephant 3 times in order to receive their next clue. I mean, do we really have to say anything about this? It was just kind of a break in between the roadblock and the detour.
Um, yeah, I wouldn't have been surprised if Liam and Jeremy accidentally did it 4 times and couldn't get this card.
That's in the deleted scenes. Yeah. Yeah. Oh gosh. That's what I'm kind of missing from Amazing Race. They used to put the deleted scenes on YouTube. I don't think they're doing that anymore. They didn't do it last season. I haven't checked to see if they're doing it this season, but it was kind of another way to like see more content about the teams. But
Well, since you mentioned the teams real quick, but I wanted to ask you, is this not one of the most boring casts that you've seen?
yeah, there's not a lot of personality here.
I mean, from top to bottom. So the challenge on CBS, which is an up and coming show, they're definitely going to have a third season. It's poaching people from Survivor, Amazing Race, the challenge on MTV, and they're taking people and bringing them onto the show, like they did with Dusty from Amazing Race. Um, there's been a few from Amazing Race, and I'm thinking this season, like you have to have a personality to go on the challenge. I don't think they could pick anyone from this show, from this season. I mean, there's nobody with personality except maybe Anna Lee. Is that her name?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, well, I know
She's
you
kind
don't
of
like them, but what about
your guy.
yeah.
No,
Yeah,
I don't. It's
Todd.
not that I don't. I definitely do. It's not that I don't like him. I mean, this guy. I think
Yeah.
I could be friends with him if he was like off the show. Like, seems like a cool guy, but I just don't think he's taking the show serious enough. But yeah, maybe him. But normally they don't take married people. But I shouldn't say that. They did with what's his name? Uh, who picked him? You or Calbert? Um, God
Mary.
damn it! The ones that were married from previous last 2 seasons. Forget his
Uh
Luis and Michelle.
oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they did take Luis. So yeah,
Yeah,
I
he
guess they
did.
would.
True. Right.
Maybe they would pick a married. But yeah, I don't know. I it just dawned on me this episode. I think this cast, like, not much has been going on cast wise.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we're gonna get more. I mean, keep in mind too, we got 13 teams, the most ever. So now they finally got the 11. Now they're down to 11 teams. I mean, that's what generally we start with, right? So now
Right.
we're actually going to get a little bit more of their personality, hopefully. But yeah, we really haven't had much. They're just kind of like, there's not like any bad guys or good guys. It's just kind of like they're just all trying to compete, which is fine. But for a TV standpoint, it might not be the most exciting. But then again, too, these are like, I feel like this season's like they're picking more of like the everyday people, like how they used to do it. So I don't know. That's just kind of how I'm seeing it right now.
Okay.
It's kind of refreshing, but then we had the detour. The legs detour was a choice between stock up or scoop up. And stock up teams had to purchase 8 food items of specified quantities at Don Y Market, using only a phonetically spelled shopping list in order to receive their next clue. In scoop up, teams had to load a boat with pomelos from canals and then unload them at a dock until they filled 5 baskets in order to receive their next clue. All right, Goldberg, which one you choosing here?
Okay, I think we could agree on this one. Would you not pick the baskets?
I think I would go to scoop up, but then again, it depends on what place I'm in.
Wait, which one was scoop up?
That was the one with the pomelos where you had to go in the boat.
Yeah, I would. There's no question I would pick that one.
Yeah, it's one that I don't have to think about. I don't have to look at any. I don't have to, talk to people who don't understand. Most of them probably don't understand English. So that's more of a task where it's like, I know I can just do it physically and be done with it, right?
Yeah, unless I'm Jocelyn and Victor, then I'm picking the fruit one, because Jocelyn and Victor knew the language. It was kind of a cheat code.
But then again, like there was advantages to doing stock up too, though.
What?
I think, I mean, look at Todd and Ashley's case. They nailed stock up. They got it done in first try. They were the only team. No, they're the second team to get, or first team to get it done in the first try. But then also you had Andrea and Milena do it their first try as well. So they did really well on it too. So yeah, stock up would have been the easier one, but more physically demanding. But I feel if you were really good, or I'm sorry, scoop up would have been the more physically demanding challenge. But I feel like if you were really good, you could have gotten stock up done relatively easily.
Yeah, but I'm with you because there's just less thinking involved in just going in the boat and collecting 100 fruits. I mean, it seems relatively straight up.
Yeah, correct. Yeah, you're right. You're right. I mean, what did you think of Steve and Annalie with their boat sinking?
Yeah, that was funny. I thought that was going to happen to more than one team, to be honest. They all look like they had so many, like they overpacked their boats.
Yeah, that was. Well, another comment I thought was pretty funny was Greg when he fell into the canal, but then he also said, "I got to protect the merchandise." That was kind of funny. That wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
But that's a solid team too, by the way. I think
I agree.
they're really good. I mean,
I agree.
they're killing it. I mean, besides like them getting dropped off at the wrong location to start, I think they're cruising. They're cruising right now.
I agree.
Then we got well, let's talk about it here. So Jocelyn and Victor did the stock up, and that's a smart choice, obviously, for them. I mean, there's no question. Rob and Corey did the scoop up. That makes sense. 2 physical guys. Greg and John did scoop up. 2 physical guys. That they did that pretty easily. Morgan and Lena did scoop up as well, and I thought they did a pretty solid job. And this is where I think actually though, Todd and Ashley made a smart choice doing stock up. And I'm going to use the comparison to fantasy, like fantasy football, fantasy basketball. If you got a run of like three quarterbacks in a row, you're not going to take the fourth one. Cause I think if they would have went with the other teams, I think they would have just been trailing behind. And I think they really thought like stock up, they could make some ground up by just doing a more of a thinking challenge than a physical one. But I want your thoughts on this, Goldberg. Because they did lose. I mean, let's not forget they were ahead of Morgan and Lena and Greg and John at the roadblock, but Ashley struggled. So then they lost that lead again to them.
I lost you for the last like 15 seconds. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I hear you now. Now I hear you.
Okay. I was just saying, like, Todd and Ashley, I thought made a smart choice here by picking stock up instead of just kind of trailing, the teams ahead of them. Because, I mean, remember, they lost that lead. They were ahead of Greg and John and Morgan and Lena, but Ashley struggled on that roadblock, so they lost the lead. So I think they were thinking maybe stock up would have been an option where it's more of a thinking challenge, but there was a shot that they could, ace it pretty quickly. Whereas scoop up, it's a physical one, and you're probably going to go. There's probably a predetermined time limit that it's going to take you to do it. So I think honestly, them doing stock up was a smart choice here for them.
I mean, definitely, it is your team. Do you think that's what they were thinking when they decided that?
When I was watching the episode, that's how I was thinking of it. I don't know if that's how they thought of it, but I thought it was a smart move, whether it was on purpose or by accident. I think that helped them. I actually was surprised with Steve and Annalee to do the scoop up. I mean, Steve looked like he was going to have a stroke.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah. I don't know how much longer that guy's going to make it through this show.
He's having some difficulty, man. He looked beat.
I think that Annalee should have done the roadblock.
Yeah, you would think, right?
And if it's a guy-girl team, the girl should have done anything that has to do with like plants.
Yeah, they should probably do it. But then again, did she do the roadblock last week with the tightrope? Yeah, she did.
You might be right. Yeah,
she
you're
did
right.
Do the tightrope.
Yeah.
So I don't know if she wanted to do both roadblocks right away.
Right. You're right. Yeah.
I mean, Steve, man, he was clearly out of breath. Like he couldn't even do the buckets. Like he couldn't carry the buckets. Annalee had to do it. So, man, the physical strain.
Yeah, when I saw that, when he couldn't even carry the buckets, I thought in my head, like, I don't know how many more weeks this team could.
Yeah.
Like, it's taking a toll on him.
He's only 54, too. He's not, like, super old.
Yeah.
But he looks more like 64.
Yeah.
Or maybe even 74. Right. I know he's a tall guy, but, man, I don't know. I gotta dock him for that. I really do. Joe and Ian did scoop up. They did pretty good at this challenge. Liam and Jeremy did pretty good at this challenge too. I gotta shoot on Joel and Garrett here though. They were ahead of Joe and Ian and Liam and Jeremy, and they fell behind a little bit here. I thought that they were there before Liam and Jeremy got it done quicker.
Yeah, I was not impressed by any stretch with God, I forgot my own team's name.
Joel and Garrett?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, this whole episode, they just, like you said, I mean, most of the teams finished in the same spot again. So, I mean, they just kind of went about this episode. I don't know. Like they didn't do anything. Obviously, leaving the fanny pack behind was a major negative, but other than that, they just kind of moseyed through the episode.
Yeah, they did. I mean, and they got passed up on the detour. So, yeah, I don't know. Andrea and Milena, they did pretty good at stock up. I mean, they got it right the first time. It may have taken them a little bit, but I mean, they clearly made the right choice there. Robin and Chelsea, I mean, they're pretty buff. So I think they probably made the right choice as well. Not having to think about anything.
Well, they
Uh,
obviously got through it. I mean, I thought that they were behind the mother-daughter, even though they were doing two different things.
right. Tasks. Yeah. It
Yeah.
made it seem like they were behind. I think they may
Yes.
have been. I think it was like so close. They probably were behind. And then they were able to pass up Elizabeth and Alana because, Elizabeth and Alana, obviously they were ahead of Andrea and Milena, but they got the task wrong. So they had to go back and get the right one. So, okay. Now I just remembered something. If you were going to make fun of Todd and Ashley for anything, I think you got to make fun of them for the broccoli. Broccoli.
No. Yes.
Surprised that
Yeah.
didn't come up yet from you.
I totally forgot about that. I
The
knew while
one.
I was watching it, I
Yeah.
said I should be taking notes right now, and I didn't.
Oh my
And
goodness. This was the
yes,
one like American food. It seemed the easiest one on the list, and they could not.
Lee.
Oh my goodness. Dude, I got the most entertaining team on here, and that's just showing you how sad this
I agree. I agree
this
with that.
roster is going.
I agree. I think they are. They are definitely the most entertaining team.
Oh wow. So that was the detour. After the detour, teams had to check in at the pit stop in Swan Sampron. So let's go. We had returning with first place victory, barely, Jocelyn and Victor. And then second place came Robin Corey. Third place was Greg and John, solid leg. Kind of bounced around throughout the episode. Fourth was again Morgan and Lena. Fifth was Todd and Ashley again. Sixth was Steve and Annalie again. And the only place difference was Joe and Ian taking seventh. Eighth was Liam and Jeremy. Ninth was Joel and Garrett. 10th was Andrea and Milena. 11th was Robin and Chelsea. And getting eliminated this week, Elizabeth and Alana. Let's talk about Elizabeth and Alana. Are we gonna miss anything with them not being on the show?
No, but who's the mother? I don't know which one's the mother, but I thought she kind of had an attitude while they were doing the grocery shopping, and I,
Yes.
I don't think that really helped them.
They were actually pretty happy to be eliminated. Like, they weren't that sad about it.
I think they were shocked. I don't think they expected it.
They thought they were ahead of Robin and Chelsea, I think.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I don't know specifically, Robin, but they did not think they were in last.
Yep. Yep.
They were surprised.
They were. Yeah, because they didn't know. Because they knew they were right behind Andrea and Milena, but they didn't know where Robin and Chelsea was. So yeah, not a lot of difference this week besides Joe and Ian and your team, Joel and Garrett, swapping from 9 to 7 and 7 to 9. So I don't know. It was kind of a ho hum episode.
Right.
But yeah, I don't know. Not too much really to say. Elizabeth and Alana, I don't think we're gonna miss much of them, but they definitely seem like they were the ones that were gonna probably blow up at each other at some point out of any team.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm sure we're in for something coming up here. All right. So let's do power rankings. And I don't know how much it'll change this week, but let's go 11. I believe I started this week. So my 11th place team, believe it or not, I'm gonna put Andrea and Milena in there.
Why wouldn't I believe that?
I think they're, Andrea's not in great shape. So I just don't have faith that they're gonna last. However, knowing what we know, there's probably gonna be a team that's up towards the top that's gonna get eliminated
Yep.
this week. So we'll talk about it in a little bit, but going from what we've seen, they got to be my 11th place. Goldberg, who's your 11th?
I'm right there with you. I think Andrea and Milena.
Yeah.
I'm not. Yeah. I think if it comes down to them and Robin and Chelsea, I think Robin and Chelsea have I think they can outlast Andrea and Milena.
Yeah, agreed. Number 10, I will go. Ooh, this is tough, but I gotta go Robin and Chelsea.
Mm.
They didn't do enough for me to like move them any higher. So I don't know. They don't really seem like a team that's got enough fire to them, but I don't think they get eliminated next week. I really don't. Goldberg.
We're 2 for 2. I'm going Robin and Chelsea. I think power ranking wise, whether we think they get eliminated next week or not, these are all power rankings, right? Not who we think is going to get eliminated. So
yeah,
yeah, Robin and Chelsea. I think they have the best story on the show. And wait, let's talk about their story for a second. Did you hear the way they described it in this episode?
Yes.
We met in what did they say? I think 7th grade, 4th grade.
Yeah. 7th grade. They were like 13 or something. They were playing soccer.
Yeah, I thought we were going to get a whole story here, and it was we met in 7th grade. She bullied me, and fast forward, we're here now. I mean,
yeah, that's kind of weird.
When did you mend the fences?
Like
she bullied me, and then we were on the same soccer team, and now we're here.
Like Robin and Chelsea really don't have any personality to them.
No, but they do have. I don't know. To me, they still have the nicest story with one of them's husband died or whatever. But I'm with you. I put them 10th.
But they're kind of boring. That's my only issue with them.
Right.
Not a knock on them, but they're just a little boring. Number 9, I gotta go. You know, this is tough because I'm kind of debating between two teams here. I gotta go Steve and Annalie.
Really?
I'm gonna put 9. Yeah.
Wow.
The fact that he made his, I know he's older. But man, he made his daughter go out and carry the buckets. I know she's a lot younger, but man, the guy looked like he was gonna have a stroke.
Yeah.
And I'm sure it's hot out there, but it wasn't a good look for me. I gotta knock him down a peg from that. There's just no way I can go and put him any higher. Who's your 9th?
I'm gonna go Liam and Yermy. They did not impress me, and I think their days are numbered. Whether it's next episode or 2 episodes from now, I think they're in the bottom 3.
Wow.
They were so thrilled to be 8th.
Yeah, that's a little concerning, right?
Yeah,
that's a little concerning. Well, my number 8 team is actually going to be Joel and Garrett. I was debating of them being 9, but I'm going to put them at 8. You can't mess up your fanny pack, and then also get passed up on the 1 detour challenge. I don't have high hopes for them, Goldberg, but they could. Maybe they come back next week. But as right now, I got them at 8. Who you got at 8?
Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go Joel and Garrett. I mean, I'm not gonna take my team to. At this point in the power rankings, I think it's pretty fitting to put them 8th. I don't really think. Maybe I could sneak them 7th, but I'm not gonna force it. I'm gonna put them 8th, and I mean, you know, it's the first couple of episodes, so anything can happen. But at this moment in time, yeah, I'm gonna put them 8th.
And then 7, I'm gonna put. Obviously, I got to go Liam and Yeremy here. I thought they had a decent. They weren't. I don't think they're a strong team by any means, but they didn't do anything wrong. They picked the right detour. They took a little bit on the roadblock, but nothing like crazy or anything. So I'm moving them up a little bit. They're my 7th place team right now.
Mm-hmm.
7. Who do you got at 7?
I'm gonna go Steve and Anna Lee. As much as I love Anna Lee, I hope she hangs around as long as possible. She's like a bundle of fucking energy. I like her. Really
Yeah.
like her. She's
Yes.
funny. She made a couple funny comments. I like her.
Okay.
But Steve, they are not going to get far with him as her significant other.
Maybe if they go to a cold weather country where he can cool off, but he's not doing well in the hot weather, that's for sure.
I mean, maybe if they have like a fishing contest, he looks like he'd be good at that.
He could, or like a cattle wrangle,
or like a resting, like whoever could rest the most.
Yeah. He'd do good there. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. 6. Now this is where it gets tough, but I'm gonna put Joe and Ian. Not a bad episode by them. Okay, I will say this though. Was it Ian? That guy made a couple cheesy comments tonight. I don't know if you caught it, but that guy made some really cheesy comments. Something. Well, he mentioned getting bit by mosquitoes. That wasn't even the cheesy one. He said like 2 sayings. Oh, we're Gucci. He said Gucci. Everything's Gucci. Ooh. And then he said another one. So I gotta knock him for that. Yeah, it was kind of secondhand embarrassment, almost like Derek gave me last season.
All right.
But that caught me a little bit. But other than that, they've been kind of quiet. So, but they did have a decent leg, so they did move up. So I got them at 6. Who do you got at 6?
Yeah, 6th. I am gonna go with Joe and Ian as well. So I think we pretty much have knocked off the same 6 teams, right? At this point.
Yes.
Maybe in a tiny different order, but yeah, I'm gonna go Joe and Ian. They just seem like a middle of the pack team. They're definitely not Will and James. Say that.
Oh, no, not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all. They don't really have much personality, to be honest with you. 5. So I want to put a surprise team here at 5. I really do. And I'm almost thinking I should, but I'm not because I can't. I just can't I can't be this hot of a take here. But 5, I will go Todd and Ashley. Yep. They had some issues this week. They bounced back. So they're kind of like all over the place. They were in 3rd at one point in this episode, so they did lose that lead to take 5th again. So I guess in the power rankings, they kind of have to be 5. Goldberg.
I agree. I could see squeaking a different team or dropping a team. And I may do that next, but I think for now I'm going to stick Todd and Ashley 5th because I think at this point, tough to say, but I think there might be a top 4 and then a 5th, which is Todd and Ashley, and then the rest at this point through right now. I think the top 4 have performed well enough to be grouped together.
Yes.
And then 5th, I think Todd and Ashley have been well enough to be on their own. And then the other 6th, anybody could be eliminated between those 6.
Yeah, I agree. I do think Joe and Ian have potential. I think they could go into
I mean, because they're in shape, maybe, but they haven't really done much.
That's true. Yeah, number 4. This is going to be a surprise. You would think 2 first place finishes.
Yeah,
I'm putting Jocelyn and Victor here. Here's a couple things that we have to think about with them. They spoke the language of the country.
Correct.
They spoke that language.
Right.
They had an advantage going into these legs, I feel. And even with all that said, they also got a grocery store task. They're grocery store managers.
Right.
Everything's kind of been, I don't want to say handed, but they definitely had an advantage. And even with that, we saw Jocelyn really struggle on that leg, and she lost a big chunk of time. I don't think they're that dominating. And I'm not even talking about the preview that we're going to see for next week. So I think they're 4. I really do. I think they're the other 3 are just ahead of them. What do you got it for?
You kind of stole my thunder there. I was thinking about doing the same thing, and I think I'm going to because I agree completely with you. They were handed this leg on a silver platter.
Yep.
Um, Speaking the language, they own a grocery store. Like they didn't do well up until that point. She didn't do well in the with the plants, and then they got there, and that was just a breeze for them, and they couldn't believe how easy it was. But overall, in this leg, I think they were the fourth best team.
Yeah, I agree. And plus with the time advantage, they had such a big time advantage. They lost a lot. So
Right, right.
number 4, I think I'm gonna
No,
go
three.
more. I'm sorry. Yeah, number 3, I'm gonna go Morgan and Lena. They're plus I mean they're running a really good race right now. Plus they have an express pass.
Right.
I think they're solid. They're really solid. Very competitive too. That's the thing about them. They got a
Yep.
little, feistiness to them. So they're looking I think they're sitting very comfortable right now where they're at. So I think they're definitely 3 right now for me. Who do you got at 3?
Yeah, I'm with you. I mean, I mean, I think the reason we agree so much is because not much changed in this episode. Um, and I think we're both smart enough to see through Jocelyn and Victor, which is the reason we put them fourth. But not
Yes.
much has changed in this episode. So putting Morgan and Lena third, I agree with you. I mean, because I can't put them past the top two, but I love their competitiveness, and they've definitely impressed me through these first couple episodes.
Yeah, they're good. Number 2, I'm actually gonna put Rob and Corey here. They're they're a solid team. I can't put them ahead of the number 1 team for me right now. I think they're running a solid race. But Rob and Corey, I got it too. Who do you got it to?
Um, yeah, I have. Oof, it is tough between these two, but I'm gonna go with. Why not be different? I'll go Greg and John second. I mean, I think it's a toss up between these two teams. The way they both performed really well. Um, Greg and John probably had the best episode. Um, the most impressive team this episode. But
Yeah.
if we're going both episodes combined, I think I'll go Greg and John second.
Okay. Yeah, one I got Greg and John. I just feel like they had a really good leg, even though in the beginning they got dropped off at the wrong location. They're still a very.
Are they Ryan and Dusty?
I think they're smarter. I don't think they're as physically as good as them, but I think they're smart guys. I mean,
So
they
they're the guy dominant team this season, is what you're saying.
I don't know if they are that. I don't know if they are the guy dominant team. I think they have winning potential. I mean, they pick up on things. Like the thing that really impressed me about them this episode was like I think it was John who got there and he was like listening to the other teams what they got wrong and like picking up on that. So he was able to use that as his advantage to get the task done a lot quicker. And they handled that detour perfect, I thought. So I got them at 1. They're impressing. And obviously you got Robin Corey at 1.
Yeah, I got Robin Corey. I think overall they've been the most impressive team. They kind of just go about their business, and the father, like he's been impressive to me, like because he's not in good shape and he's deaf, and he's performed so well, like
Yep.
through these first two episodes, like, and then Corey, like if Rob does what he's been doing, like the son is, I don't think the son will be the reason for any kind of um I guess setback. So I mean they've just gone about their business. I think it helps that he's deaf.
It may be like more of a focus for him.
Right.
Like, plus he's already competitive as is. So
he's just doing shit. Like, he's just doing everything and like getting the job done.
Exactly. And Rob's in a lot better shape than Steve is. That's for sure.
Oh, without a doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe not like looks wise, but performance wise, without a doubt, he is
Easily.
Don't matter. He's a little overweight, not affecting him one bit.
Yeah, correct. All right. So there's our power rankings for this week. Thoughts on the episode out of 10?
Yeah, man. It just didn't have much spice to it. Like I want to see like I guess you're right, it is early, but I want to see some spice, maybe some like somebody screwing someone over or some teams teaming up even. Like, do you think people could have teamed up with the plants, that part with the plants? Like, could they have helped each other there? Nobody helped anybody.
No, it didn't seem like that. That was kind of surprising, actually. They're all kind of doing it independently.
Because I would have struggled with that and asked maybe someone for help, and I'll say, you know what, I'll return the favor later. But nobody seemed to be doing that. So
wait. I know you want to bring up one more Todd thing, right?
What did he do?
There's one more thing he did say that I'm surprised you. He said he would eat the catfish bait if you give me that express pass. He would eat the whole bucket of catfish bait if you give me the express pass.
Yeah, he's a joker. I mean, he's a joker. Listen,
you know what? He's a joker, but he's doing what it takes to win, though, at the same time.
I think it's so early right now that there's so many bum teams behind them.
Yeah.
That maybe he'll start taking it seriously if they make the top 5. Then maybe he'll. But he is not taking this seriously yet. I mean, come on, dude. He is making jokes in every leg of the race.
Well, I think they even mentioned that, right? In the beginning, they said they were comfortable because of the fact that they were in such a bigger lead than all the other teams.
Yeah.
I'll eat the whole catfish food for the express pass.
But even when they were doing the grocery shopping, he's like, I'm looking at this as an opportunity to make some jokes. Like, he is not serious at all.
No wonder they almost got divorced.
And you're right, but they made it through. I'll give them credit. But it made me think, like, man, I'd love to grab a beer with this guy, but I don't think I'd want him as my partner on The Amazing Race.
No, he's not.
But overall, I'd probably out of 10, dude, I don't think I was that impressed with this episode. I'd give it like a 6.
Yeah, I'll give it a 6.5 because I like some of the scenery. I thought the location looked cool and some of the places they went to, but yeah, it really wasn't that great. It wasn't the cat's pajamas, as they say. Had to bring that up. Okay. Next week, let's talk about it a little bit. We're going to Vietnam next week. Yeah, Vietnam. They've gone to a few times. Usually good episodes, but it's going to be a lot of it's going to be, same type of climate like Thailand. So
yeah, this may bode well for Jocelyn and Victor again.
You would think, but then we also found out that one of the first plane has a delay.
How many teams are on the first plane?
Okay, so I'm going to say the top 6. Whoever reads.
So you think only one team is going to be affected by that?
No, I think there's more to Jocelyn and Victor being affected. I think they either get a bad cab or they screw up. Do you think, though? I know this is probably going to be one of your questions, but do you think they're getting eliminated next week?
What, based on the preview?
Yeah.
No. I don't. I think they're going to be at the end of the pack. Excuse me. Yeah, I think they're. I don't think they're going to get eliminated because I think that would just be too obvious, don't you?
Yeah, I don't think they're getting eliminated. I don't think
And
they're.
they
I don't
finished
think they're getting.
twice first, so the
Yeah.
show is trying to make us think, they can't be that good. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think they're. I think something's going to happen, but I don't think they're going to take first. But I don't think they're getting eliminated as well. It is interesting though. If that really like shuffles the deck here, you got to think Joe and Ian are going to be primed to be a first place finish this week.
Being what the first, being a team on the second plane.
Yeah, if they're on the second plane and they get lucky because of that,
But is this one of those things where they're over exaggerating?
Well, it could be if it's an hour delay, and if the planes are going what 15.
But how is that
apart?
How is that fair? Like really?
I mean, it's not, but this is what happens when you bring the airports back in. Anything can happen. I mean,
Interesting.
That's why one team won one season in the early.
But it's
season.
almost like being penalized for finishing higher.
Correct. There's nothing you can do.
No, I get it. There's nothing you can do,
Yeah.
but it's almost like you could have said yeah, you know what? I'd rather go on the second plane because something's up with some Final Destination type shit. It's gonna go on with the first plane. So
oh man,
I'm gonna hop on the second plane.
That is crazy though. I can't remember a time when this has happened where just the whole plane's been delayed and the second plane ends up being the better option.
I think they may be exaggerating it a little bit, but we'll see.
They could be. So my question to you is, who do you think is getting eliminated next week? If we think what's going to happen is going to happen.
Okay, so you're saying if the first plane is affected, then who's going to get eliminated?
Yeah.
And we're saying that the top 6 is on
are
the
going to
first
be
plane.
Yes.
So only the bottom 5 are on the second plane.
Correct.
Then I think it's Sayonara Steve and Anna Lee.
Yep. That's what I was thinking.
Unfortunately. Because I want to see more of her. I like her. She's a little fucking fireball.
Fireball? Well, no.
Yeah. Literally.
Do the curtains match the drapes?
I think they do. Do they? You think they do? I don't know.
Oh gosh, yeah. Steve and Anna Lee, I think they're going out next week if it's how we think it's going to be, unless one of those bottom teams really fails at a challenge or something.
Well, yeah, I think it would either be Andrea, Milena, or Robin and Chelsea, or it could be Liam and Jeremy. I think those are the 3 worst teams, honestly. But
yeah, I could see it. And this might be the opportunity Liam and Jeremy are looking for.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you real quick.
Yes.
If you could repick now, who would you pick to win it? Or would you stick with?
So I'm still high on my team. However, I think I got to switch this week if I had to. I think I'm going to go Greg and John this week.
Right.
But I still have Todd and Ashley as my number 2. But Greg and John seem like they're going places.
Okay, and I have one more question for you. If Alex and Sheridan were not eliminated in the first week, and they ran this second leg, do you think they would have finished last again?
Yes. Who would have gotten in the water?
That was an easy question.
Yes.
If they ran the race over again, do you think they would have finished last again?
Yes. Did you know they were super fans?
No.
Did you catch that? In the beginning when they talked about them getting eliminated, they said they were the super fan brother and sister team.
See, They had all the characteristics of a team that could go deep.
How could you be that bad? Yeah, no, because you know what would have happened? Let's just say Alexandra did the roadblock. She would have said something like, I don't want to get a toe infection going into this water. I don't think I can do it.
Nobody told us there was water involved in any of these
Challenges.
roadblocks, so I'm allergic and I'm suing.
That team was getting eliminated again. They were that bad. Yes, I'm suing. I'm a consultant, damn it.
I'm going to make money off of this thing one way or another.
Did you ask them to come on the show yet? Or?
Not yet. I'm plotting it. It's going to be tough right now with what Israel's going through. But.
Well, yeah, that's true. That is true. But at least you guys could, sympathize together.
That's true. And that may be my end. That may be my end.
So, I mean, we're all sympathizing, but
we are.
Seriously.
Except Leo.
Yeah, maybe not Leo. That guy's a heel.
Yeah.
He's dastardly, right? He's dastardly.
He's dastardly. He's like the heel on Dudley Do Right rips off balls. Yeah. He's twirling his mustache.
Oh my God. Yeah, I see it. Oh gosh. Alexandra and Sheridan. Wow.
If they ran that first leg 10 times in a row, how many 10 out of 10 do you think that they would have finished last?
Oh gosh.
Can't be all 10.
They would have to have gotten lucky at some point, right?
If somebody would have had to screw up, but I think 8 out of 10 maybe.
Yeah. Quite high.
Yeah.
Yeah, quite high for sure. Oh my goodness. All right. Well,
they gave us. Hey, they may have been the most interesting team on the show so far.
That's true. That's true.
They gave us something to talk about.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, they had more personality than all these other teams.
They did. Without meaning to.
Oh my gosh. Well, we're going to Vietnam, and we did this show on a Monday instead of a Tuesday, so that's positive. That's positive.
Calbert, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, Calbert will be back. I'm sure he'll have something to say. I don't know what, but I don't know what his take would be. He did say his power rankings were basically the same. So if you were wondering what Calbert's power rankings, so he did text me that. So
fair enough.
So anyways, well, we hope you enjoyed this recap of episode 2 for the Amazing Race 35. We will be back next week discussing episode 3, the Vietnam episode. Have a good night, everyone.
Peace.